Alright, ready, Bubba? 1, 2, 3. Oh, huh, there's something sticking out of your head. Alright, one more time. 1, 2, 3. And cheese. Stadium. Alright, and go.
Our last stop.
No, next.
Now we are at the Babe Ruth Birthplace and Museum.
Okay. Up.
Our last stop is the Babe Ruth Birthplace and Museum.
This is our other. If you want to know what all the way, and there's a ramp down there. We'll have to go out.
Teams or players. Today, as we behold the we're fascinated by its extraordinary value and its direct connection to baseball's greatest.
That dude reminds me of Micah.
Yes, you pull out the three doors. We have them all lined up, and they're fascinating.
No people. Alright,
These are jerseys of all the teams that Babe Ruth played for. He even played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. That's from 1938. It's before the Dodgers moved to LA.
This was her father's home, and evidently it was quieter here, and this is where the midwife was going to be. Now, unfortunately, his mom would lose 6 children, but 2 children would survive. Mimi, his brother, his sister, and he. Now, this is a family that's very dysfunctional. Mom has a lot. This would have been like the parlor. This would have been a main room. Where those folks are standing there would have been the outback.
Century, when baseball was first emerging as a national sensation.
In 1909, which removed the ban of inserts and packs of tobacco, enabled cigarette manufacturers packs to help them sell their product. 500.
These are the seats that they would sit in at Yankee Stadium, and it's nicknamed 9-inning agony. Okay, wow. Here's the bat that Babe Ruth used in the 1927 season when he hit 60 home runs, and this is a home run ball. Each one of them?
yeah, for each one.
Yeah. Babe Ruth hit 714 home runs, and these plaques commemorate all of them.
Who broke his record?
Oh.
Until the other folks get here. Ruth have to do with the Star Spangled Banner. And so they thought and they thought, and then they remembered, or they discovered. In 1918, Babe Ruth was pitching in Chicago. And he was pitching for Boston, and they were playing the Cubs. But they were playing at Wrigley Field, which was the White Sox field, but they played at Wrigley Field because it was bigger than Comiskey. That's how they got there. Baltimore Orioles for a short time. He's traded to the Red Sox. He plays wonderfully for the Red Sox as a pitcher. A lot of people forget that, but he was a phenomenal pitcher. Played there for about 5 years, and then the worst trade in history. The owner of the Red Sox had a girlfriend, and that girlfriend was in a Broadway play called My Friendly Ladies, and it was not doing well. And so Broadway plays need what? They need money. So she went to her boyfriend who owned the Red Sox, and she said, honey, I need money. And he said, I have no money, but I have some ball players. I have this Babe Ruth guy. Maybe I could sell him and get you the money. Well, actually, Detroit was a team that was kind of interested. Okay, a couple others. But it was the Yankees that ultimately came up with I believe it was 125 or 100,000. I never get that quite right. And they took him. Well,
Orange County?
oh, you can come up with some others. That's Julia and that's Dorothy. I think Dorothy was a bit older than Julia. That's his second wife. Now, of course, probably with his girls. They took trips around the world with him because he would travel around the world. I'll tell you a little bit about that. Now, it's our little display of what that meant. He made movies. I've watched a couple that he was, the way technology was.
Go.
Babe Ruth was a troubled kid, so his parents sent him to an industrial school where he learned to make shirts, and then eventually he found that baseball was his passion, so then he joined a team, and then that's when he was able to finally kind of get his freedom and become successful.
Go.
And that... Alright, whatever. And that is the Babe Ruth Birthplace and Museum.
I really enjoyed looking at all the artifacts that they were able to collect that Babe Ruth once owned or touched his hands on. It was a really good museum, and I'm actually very intrigued by the history behind Babe Ruth.
I really enjoyed the guided tour because our tour guide, even though he said he was 75, he was very lively, and I learned so much from him about Babe Ruth. Some of my favorite facts were that Babe Ruth was one of the few people who made money during the Great Depression, and so because of that, he was very generous. So he went to like orphanages and bought shoes for children and stuff like that. What else? He's also kind of like Shohei Ohtani right now because he started as a pitcher and then they decided to make him a batter, and it's kind of like how Shohei Ohtani right now, they can't decide if they want him to pitch or bat because he's good at both.
Alright, let's see. Two endings.
Thank you again for...
See you in the next video.
See you in the next video. Bye. On to our next stop.
Bye. Oh, careful.